Alright, so real quick, we're gonna discuss the bell ring. We're gonna go over midpoint, distance, according to plane. After we discuss the bell ring, we're gonna go into a quick slideshow. We got out of slideshow, we got a YouTube video, real quick, real short, about 2 minutes, 15 seconds on the video. After we get into the lesson, we're gonna have a quick independent practice. Well, not independent practice, it's gonna be guided practice first. After we go into the guided practice, spend about 25 minutes on there. We're gonna go into our independent practice. And after we get done with the independent practice, be 30 minutes, 35 minutes. We'll have a quick exit ticket, and we'll be done for today. So real quick, on the bell ringer, can somebody tell me how to set it up? Find your midpoint. So we got M equals what? X1 plus X2, what's X1?
4.
4 plus 7 over 2. For Y1, we got 6 plus
8.
8 over 2. So we got 4 and 7, give you 11 over 2.
5.5.
5.5. And we got 6 and 8, 14 over 2. 7 over 7. So our points for number 1, our midpoint will be 5.5 and 7. 5.5 and 7. Everybody good?
Mm-hmm.
You good on that? So on number 2, we got our midpoint equal X1 plus X2. We got 1 plus 2 over 2. And we got 3 plus 5 over 2. We end up with 3 over 2. We got 1.5. And we got 8 over 2. It was 4. So on number 2, our midpoint is 1.5 and 4. X always come first, and you got Y. Just think about your coordinate, your pairs, your order pairs. So your X gonna always be first, followed by your Y. And on the last one, we got M equals, we got 9 plus 7 over 2, and 2 plus 6 over 2. We got 9 and 7, give you 16 over 2, which is 8. Then we got 8 over 2,
4.
and we got 4. So on the last one, we got 8 and 4. That make sense? Yes, no, maybe? Well, okay. All right, so real quick, we're going to get into our PowerPoint. And I will, after we get done, I will make sure we have it. Or we can always refer back to it. So don't let me forget to upload that in Canvas so we can have that. Alright, so real quick, midpoint, distance, and coordinate plane. I keep okay with that. Midpoint, we got line segment, number line, and coordinate plane. We have our distance formula. And we want to make sure we have our midpoint and distance formula. We're going to be working with order pairs. They have 2 different formulas in here. We're just going to deal with the ones with our order pairs, with our X and our Y. So the midpoint refers to the center of a line segment, or 2 points that divides them equally into 2 arcs. So your midpoint is basically a bisector. So think about your midpoint, your bisector. We had that before. Line segment, it's a set of points having 2 fixed endpoints. We know that we can measure our line segment. So just think about your line segment and those 2 endpoints. Your number line, of course, extended in both directions without end. Think about your line. So just because it say number line, it's still the same thing. It extends indefinitely in both directions. In your coordinate plane, is your 2D figure having both X and Y coordinates. And we know X goes horizontal, Y goes vertical. So X horizontal, Y gonna be vertical. And to find the midpoint of a line segment or a number line given the 2 endpoints, the formula, they got the first formula, A plus B over 2. We are not going to use that formula. We're gonna stick with our order pairs. So we see it, but we don't want to hold that in our memory. We want this formula. midpoint equals x1 plus x2 over 2, and y1 plus y2 over 2. And you know, your x and your y gonna be your first, like in our bell ring, x, first order pairs, that's your x1 and your y1. And your second point, which was t, that's gonna be your x2 and your y2. So just remember that. Your first set of order pairs is gonna be x1 and y1. Second set is gonna be your y1. Your x2 and your y2. They showed us right here both ways to find our midpoint. And like I said, we're gonna stick with the order pairs because we haven't dealt with order pairs yet, so I want to get us familiar with dealing with that. We've had the ones where we just had our numeric values, but we have not done ones with our order pairs. So we're gonna pay attention to B. You got PQ. P is 1 and 3, and Q is 3 and 3. Just set that up. You got 1 plus 3 over 2, and you got 3 plus 3 over 2. So you end up with your order pairs 2, 3. So your midpoint will be 2 and 3. Now we want to make sure we have this formula for distance. The distance between 2 points tells us how far one point is from the other. To find the distance between 2 points on the coordinate plane, given the points with their x and y coordinates, we will use the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So we'll make sure we have it. So they got us P 2 and 4 and Q 5 and 6. So you just substitute. You got x is -1, -2, and y is -5 and 8. So just taking 8, substitute. You got x2 minus x1, so you got 5 minus 2 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So you got 6 minus 4 squared. We know 5 minus 2 is 3. 3 squared is 3 times 3. So they give you 9. So just imagine 9 right here. 6 minus 4 give you 2. 2 squared will be 2 times 2. It's 4. So you got 9 plus 4 is 13. So you know what square root of 13. Just remember, your exponent is that number times itself however many times you got with your exponent. So don't think, just say if that was cubed, and I know it's not cubed, but if that was cubed, it would be 3 times 3 times 3, not just 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9 times 3 give you 27, so they give you 2 different answers. So just remember, the exponent, you just repeat their multiplication that many times. So, we got any questions right now? Any questions? We're gonna go into our video. Just a quick little song. It's more so of a song than a lecture to kind of get us in rhythm with our 2 different formulas. Yeah, I heard it. They're kind of low on it. You know what? I'm gonna do it different. I'm gonna do it like this. This is so big. I'm gonna do it like this. To keep it from sounding a little off.
This song goes out to this song. These are the formulas for distance, midpoint, and slope.
We're not getting into slope just yet, so don't worry about the slope
It
form.
may look like a square root. It may look like a fraction, but a midpoint's gonna be expressed as an ordered pair. Oh, yeah. Distance. It may look like a square root. It may look like a fraction, but a midpoint's gonna be expressed as an ordered pair. The formula for distance comes from the Pythagorean theorem for the length of the hypotenuse. So c squared equals a squared plus b squared is pretty much the formula we're going to use. It's where the difference of x1 and x2, it's where the difference of the y's. Add them up and you have d squared, and then find its root to reveal your prize. Remember, distance. It may look like a square root. It may look like a fraction, but a midpoint's gonna be expressed as an ordered pair. Oh yeah. Distance. It may look like a square root. It may look like a fraction, but a midpoint's gonna be expressed as an ordered pair. The formula for slope's gonna look like a fraction that shows the slant using rise over run. It says m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. The formula for midpoint is the one where you add and gives a point as an ordered pair. Just add the x's over 2 and do the same with the y's, and you will know the midpoint is there. Remember, distance. It may look like a square root. It may look like a fraction, but a midpoint is gonna be expressed as an ordered pair. Oh yeah. Distance. It may look like a square root. It may look like a fraction, but a midpoint is gonna be expressed as an ordered pair. Oh yeah. A midpoint is gonna be expressed as an ordered pair.
That wasn't that bad, it was kind of was. It was a bad song. Y'all like my song? That's something messed up.
During Walmart's Black Friday deals for days,
That messed up. Alright, so we're gonna go over a couple practice problems. We're gonna do it together. I'm gonna put it on the board. I'm gonna give you a couple minutes to work them. So just remember our formulas. I'll put the distance form on the board. So we got square root of x2 minus x1 squared. What's wrong?
My nose down.
You wanna step out and blow your nose?
Yep.
You step out and blow your nose. So that's the formula for your distance. You got midpoint. So on the first one, we're gonna find the distance. Negative 8 and 7. And 12 and negative 9. Second one, we're gonna find the midpoint. So we're gonna try these two real quick. I'm gonna give us a couple minutes to work those. And don't worry about trying to find the actual square root. You just leave the square root with the answer that you got. Alright, so we're gonna take number one. We just gonna fill in. So we got distance equal the square root of x2 minus x1. We got x2 and x1. So we got 12 minus a negative 8 squared plus watch. Huh? What you got? Oh yeah, negative 9 minus 7 squared. Oh, we already wrote these down? The first problem? Let me erase that. Alright. So we got 12 minus a negative 8. That's basically saying 12 plus 8, because you think about the two-stick rule. 12 plus 8. So we got 20 squared plus negative 9 minus 7. That's basically saying negative 9 plus a negative 7. We get negative 16 squared. We got 20 squared. 20 times 20 gonna give you 400. Then you got negative 16 squared. Negative 16 times negative 16 give you 256. So we add those two, 400 and 256, we get the square root of 656. Now we will simplify that, but because we do not have calculators right now, we're gonna leave it like that. Because that is equivalent to what you would get simplified. So I will not mark that incorrect. So we'll be good with that. So on the second one, find the midpoint of the segment with endpoints negative 8 and 7 and 12 and negative 9. So we set that up. Midpoint equals x1 plus x2. So we got negative 8 plus 12 over 2. And we got 7 plus negative 9 over 2. So we got opposite signs right here. So we know we got to subtract and take the sign of the largest number. So we got 12 minus 8. They give you 4 over 2. We got opposite signs, so we got to subtract, take the sign of the largest number. 9 minus 7, 2. Well, we can't leave that negative out because your 9 is negative. So we end up with simplifying that, we got order pair 2 and negative 1. So on the first one, we got square root of 656. And on the second one, we got 2 and negative 1. I'm going to put one more up here. I want us to try this. This is for participation. It will be graded on participation on this one. I just want to see where our thinking is. We have not done one like this yet. But if we remember our properties, our math properties, we should be able to do it. We've all had algebra 1. So we should be able to figure this one out. So we got... I'm gonna put one right now. We got 1 point at 9 and negative 4. And we got our midpoint that is negative 8 and 2. We want our other missing endpoint. Our other missing endpoint. Don't forget that. This is our formula right here. We got our formula right here. So we just have to think a little bit. If we want to find x, we can just focus on this part right here. We know what our midpoint is. We know what our x point is. So set it up like this. Negative 8 equals, we got x1, 9. We do not have x2. So plus x over 2. This is our equation. And all we have to do is solve for our second value, our second x. So I'll give us a minute to try to figure that one out and see what we get. Now our objective is, when we solve an equation, is to isolate our variable. We want the variable on the side by itself. Now we have the variable on one side already. So now we got to figure out how to get everything else away. And we got division. We do not want division in our problem. So the first thing we can do is get rid of our division. To do that, we're going to take the opposite. Opposite of division is multiplication. Multiply both sides by 2. Now you got the division going on that side. You got negative 8 times 2 give you negative 16 equals 9 plus x. What we got?
Cross out the, subtract 9 from both sides.
On subtract 9 from both sides. We got a positive 9, so we want to take the opposite because we want to make that 0. What you do on one side of the equal sign, you got to do on the other side. So that's gone. We end up with x equals negative 16 minus 9. Subtraction is basically adding the opposite. So you're going to add and make that negative. So you got negative 16 and negative 9 give you negative 25. So we know one of our points, negative 25. Now we got to find y. We'll do the same exact thing to solve for y. Since we're looking for y, we want that y value in our midpoint. That y value is 2. So you got 2 equals, we got y1 negative 4 plus y, because we're looking for the other value of y, over 2. We do the same exact thing we just did. So what's the first thing we're going to do? Multiply. We want to get rid of that division. What you do to one side, you got to do on the other side. So we got 2 times 2 give you 4. Then we got negative 4 plus y. We got y on one side, so we're going to push everything else away. We got a negative 4, so what we got to do? Add 4 on both sides. That's gone. So we got 8 equals y. So we know our other value for y. Negative 25 and 8, that's our other point. Simple enough. A little more, we're gonna need a little more practice on that.
Yeah, a little more practice.
A little more practice. I got you. We're gonna make sure we get it. So I wanna make sure everybody okay. Now we will not have a test this Friday. We will have one next Friday. I'll make sure I get those parallels out on Canvas so we know what's going on. Now the lesson we get into next week, we will have a pre-test so I can see where we are. And what I would do with the pre-test, I will put us in 2 different groups. The people that do well on the pre-test will be group 1. The people that are having a little trouble will be group 2. We'll do enrichment for the group that do well. I will have y'all helping me with the other group. So there'll be all of us working together on that. Get into the lesson. After we get into the lesson, I will do a post-test after to see where we are. And if we need more enrichment or more remediation, we will get the proper remediation we need for that. But no worries, we're gonna work through it together. Whatever y'all need, do not hesitate to ask or let me know. We're gonna get into our independent practice. I will upload that assignment on Canvas. Spend 30 minutes on our independent practice. We'll get into our exit ticket. Independent practice will be graded. That will be our grade for today. Exit ticket will also be for a grade. So we want to make sure anything we're not understanding, we get the help we need.